God, a God of your understanding, which may differ from mine, but nevertheless God. And we have some housekeeping to take care of. There's fire exits on either side and in the back. And if you have a problem, please raise your hand medically and we'll get somebody to take care of you. And that's about all of that. Now, I want to thank St. Teresa's for hosting tonight's gathering and for Father King in offering St. Teresa. It's very generous of him to have us here tonight. Thank you, Father King. The Cognacs are going to provide refreshments. We serve in the foyer when we conclude or outside, depending on the weather, and I want to thank them as well. Now, in June, my wife, Arlene Glantz, and myself were watching television and came to the conclusion that something had to be done. Hatred was rampant in the news. Arlene thought a gathering to pray and bring awareness to the hatred engulfing our community, state, and country was the answer. Arlene organized this event, and I want to thank my wife, Arlene. The committee that put the event together and organized tonight consisted of Rabbi Tuvia Schreiber from Temple Beth David, Ron Becker, the spiritual leader from the Jewish Community Center in Newport Richey, and Father King. During tonight's gathering, there will be candles lit, prayers offered. Hang on to those little white slips of paper that you received. At the proper time, I'll ask you to write a petition to God, a prayer to be answered from you to God. They'll be collected and made available to all the religious affiliations that showed interest in tonight's gathering. That list includes, this is rather extensive, so bear with me, Bethel Shalom, Brooksville Christian Church, Christian Church in the Wildwoods, Christian Life Assembly of God, Congregation Beth Ann, Congregation Rudolph Shalom, Congregation Shahari Zadik, and if I mispronounce names, I apologize profusely, I'm very bad. Crosspoint Church, Day Spring Presbyterian Church, Faith Presbyterian Church, First Baptist Church of Spring Hill, First Methodist Church of Spring Hill, Forest Oaks Lutheran Church, Grace Lutheran Church, Greater Hope Church, and our deepest sympathies go out to Pastor Anthony Karuna and the passing of his mother earlier this week. Holy Cross Lutheran Church, Hope Community Bible Church, Inner Peace Church of the Spirit, Islamic Center of Newport Richey, Jewish Center of West Pasco, Nativity Lutheran Church of Weeki-Wachee, Northcliffe Baptist Church, Spring Hill Baptist Church, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, St. Francis Cabrini Roman Catholic Church, St. Joan of Arc Roman Catholic Church, St. Teresa's Roman Catholic Church, Temple Avat Shalom, Temple Beth David. And if I've left anybody off the list, please see me at the conclusion and I will add you onto the email list. The Washington Post reported on Wednesday, October 9th, on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Dateline Berlin. A shooting near a synagogue in the eastern German city of Halle left at least 2 people dead on Wednesday, with one suspect taken into local custody. A police spokeswoman said there were also reports of injured people and multiple suspects were believed to have fled the scene. One man was arrested. These headlines are becoming all too familiar and common around the world and here in the United States. Ellen DeGeneres summed up the reason for this gathering tonight. And I'm not a fan of hers. I don't like her humor. That's all. But she's earned my respect. On Sunday, October 6, 2019, she attended a Dallas Cowboy football game with her wife. She sat next to President George Bush. They were reported laughing and generally having a good time. I saw on the news channel where on her show the following day, Ellen DeGeneres stated, during the game, they showed a shot of George and me laughing together. And so, people were upset. They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that it's okay that we're all different. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people who think the same way that you do. I mean kind to everyone. It doesn't matter. And for that, I applaud her for her beliefs. Hatred of groups has been around since recorded history and long before. We're seeing an increase in incidents and the violence is reaching new proportions. It has to stop. Plain and simple. Semite is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a member of any number of peoples of ancient southwestern Asia, including the Acadians, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs. It is a descendant of these people. It is a member of modern people speaking a Semitic language. History.com defines anti-Semitism as the hatred, hostility, and prejudice against the Jewish people. The term was coined by the German journalist Wilhelm Marr in 1879 to describe hatred towards Jews. Middle Ages created a climate, the spread of anti-Semitism and the pogroms in Russia in the 1800s and 1900s that took on a vast population of Russian Jews who were forced to leave farms, villages, entire towns, with many being murdered. Today in Europe, France has the highest reported hate crimes and the largest Jewish population, as reported in 2012 by History.com. The UK logged a record 1,382 hate crimes against Jews in 2017, an increase of 34% from previous years. In the United States, anti-Semitic incidents rose 57% in 2017, the largest single-year increase ever recorded by the Anti-Defamation League, a Jewish civil rights advocacy organization. Hatred of others, those different from our beliefs, has risen dramatically. Mass murders and shootings are all too common regardless of the targets. There's hatred for others. We have the right to be different. We affirm with a pledge of allegiance to this country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With liberty and justice for all. No individual God under our Constitution takes precedence over another's. We all have the right to worship God of our own choosing, an ideal that is being forgotten. Tolerance towards another's religion is a right protected in America. How do we stop hatred? How do we stop the tearing of the fabric of this great nation and its way of life? It starts by praying for a solution. It starts with elected and appointed officials in leadership roles at federal, state, and local levels no longer condone anti-Semitic behaviors and hatred to any group. It starts when we demand that support towards known terrorists that appall our liberties stop in all forms. It stops. We start to believe, as Ellen DeGeneres, that we are all different and accept them as equal, maybe friends. I'm not suggesting 1960s love fest, but maybe that's not a good idea. I'm suggesting tolerance for each other. I get no calming feeling when thinking of the 6 million Jews who died in World War II. It saddens my soul. I'm not Jewish. It saddens realizing statements like that are being spoken by our elected leaders. It has to stop. My soul is troubled when I read about mass murders in the name of some obscure, deranged ideal that we glorify in the media. All hatred towards others has to stop. Hatred in any form is dangerous and destructive. Pray with us. Help stop it. Start the healing. And now to the program. If I can find it. Here we go. Up first we have Rabbi Retuvia Schreiber from Temple Beth David.
We We can choose hate, or we can choose love. We have two choices. We can choose hate, or we can choose love. Kind friends all gathered round. There's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside. We're strangers or as family, and loneliness can't hide. The words are in your program. So give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter. Oh, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is morning fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. Together we sing. So give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter. Oh, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Let's do that again. Are you ready? So give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter. Oh, and give yourself to love. Give yourself